Zelensky says Ukraine, not a weak state, would make NATO much stronger.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asserted Friday evening that Ukraine would actually make NATO much stronger, saying that his Eastern European nation is not a weak state. Even before Russian President Vladimir Putin's internationally condemned full-scale invasion of Ukraine, which began on February 24, many analysts said that NATO was unlikely to admit the Eastern European country. Zelensky during his interview with Fox News argued that Ukraine would benefit the Western alliance. "It's hard for us to talk about NATO because NATO doesn't want to admit us," Zelensky told Fox News anchor Brett Baer through an interpreter. "I think it's a mistake because if we join NATO, we make NATO much stronger. We are not a weak state. We are not proposing to make us stronger at the expense of NATO. We are an addition, we are the locomotive. I think we are one of the important components of the European continent." During World War II, Nazi Germany leader Adolf Hitler viewed control of Ukraine as a top priority, with some historians assessing Hitler fought World War II due to his desire to control the Eastern European nation, which was then part of the now-defunct Soviet Union. The Russian president also bizarrely accused Ukraine of being led by neo-Nazis. Despite the fact that Zelensky is Jewish and had family members die in the Nazis' Holocaust genocide during World War II, Zelensky told Fox News that "truth is on the Ukrainian side."
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Relevant.
Ukraine is game to you?
I take your board and I smash it.
Yeah, I gotta admit Ukraine is pretty much more than holding their own against the Russian army, which just a couple months ago everyone thought was one of the fiercest in the world, which I assume a lot of people didn't expect. I listened to the Stuff You Should Know on NATO, highly recommend, and one of the points was every country, no matter how small, serves a purpose in NATO. Is their army small with basic equipment? Yeah, but maybe their location is perfect for an Air Force base. Ukraine has done a pretty fucking good job on the application and interview so far IMHO.
Not to mention their ability to feed NATO countries given their grain exports and access to the Black Sea. I think only reason Ukraine wasn't in NATO was before Zelensky they had Russian puppets as leaders and were fighting a civil war against separatists in their nation.
They announced intentions to join in 2008, along with Georgia, the country. In 2010, they elected a pro-Russian president who stopped that process. 2014 they had their revolution of dignity and got rid of said pro-Russian president. Then the whole annexation of Crimea and war in Donbass started.
This is Kyiv 2014, when Ukrainians ousted Putin's puppet using bats versus armed pro-Putin forces and snipers.
A day after ousting Yanukovych, pro-Russian demonstrations began in Crimea that started the Russian invasion of Crimea.
Not sure I realized at the time that the entire thing only took 23 days.
With a lot of help from Little Green Men.
Russian Little Green Man too coward to hit USA, hits Ukraine and blames USA.
When Ukraine comes out of this, I have a feeling we're gonna see almost an Israel-style Ukraine with high military spending and a real conscription system for everybody. Most likely. It'll be a golden age though. I mean, I can't imagine living in a country where everyone has gone through such a bonding moment together, shared trauma sure, but in a we're all standing together for common cause way. Not to mention getting a lot of foreign investments. I think it's a big country, and even for superficial PR reasons I think several Western businesses will be happy to toss some money at the market.
And will undoubtedly experience an economic boom with all the foreign aid and investment to rebuild. Hope they can come down hard on corruption. The country will be very strong if they do.
Greater than experience an economic boom with all the foreign aid and investment to rebuild. Yeah. Once the weapon dealers make a little room, then the other vultures can get in on the action as well.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.